President Tinubu commences state visit to People's Republic of China, signs Memorandum of Understanding with President Xi Jinping. Minister of Petroleum Resources Oil refutes claim of increase in petroleum pump price. Security experts call for actionable intelligence to end banditry in northwest Nigeria.
We have to understand those things and come up with a clear mind of trying to resolve them.
Hello and welcome to the News Desk at 3 on Nta News24. We are live in Abuja. I'm Elizabeth Omori. President Bola Tinubu has officially commenced a state visit to the People's Republic of China with a bilateral meeting with the Chinese president. The president arrived at the Great Hall this Tuesday, leading the Nigerian delegation. After the welcome ceremony, President Tinubu went into talks with the host leader on how to build on the existing bilateral relations between Nigeria and China. At the end of the meeting, behind closed doors, the two leaders witnessed the signing of 5 memoranda of understanding on new areas of collaboration, which include peaceful use of nuclear energy, human resource development, and cooperation on television. Details of the meeting will come subsequently on our bulletins. And back home, the federal government says it is compelled to address what it's called outright falsehood currently being circulated in social media, claiming that the Minister of State Petroleum Resources Oil, Senator Heineken Lukubiri, has directed the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation Limited to increase petrol prices to 1,000 naira above the approved pump price. A statement by the Special Advisor, Media and Communication to the Minister for Petroleum Resources condemns the claim, describing it as baseless, malicious, and a deliberate attempt to incite public discontent. It stressed that the information is devoid of truth and should be recognized as an intentional effort to mislead the public. The statement reiterates that NNPC Limited operates as an independent entity and that the companies and allied matters act with a full empowered board of directors. The Ministry of Petroleum Resources does not and will not interfere in the internal decisions of NNPC Limited. The ministry urges the public to dismiss the misinformation, urging Nigerians to be vigilant and rely only on information from verified and official channels. Now, with increasing concerns about the recent spike in insecurity in the northwest of Nigeria, security experts say banditry can be combated within 60 days if military and traditional rulers are held accountable. Discussing ways to end banditry in northwest Nigeria, they also say that the intelligence community has to collaborate to deliver more actionable intelligence. Ikemini Williams brings us details.
The Minister of Defense has directed the top military hierarchy in the country to relocate to Sokoto with immediate effect. It is a reflection of the severe turn banditry has taken, especially in the northwest of recent, with communities being invaded and citizens abducted. The price in human casualties and economic impoverishment is spiraling. Security experts identified most of the bandits as indigens and attributed the rise in banditry to easy access to illicit weapons as well as perceived injustice.
We have been experimenting, on so many times. And when you keep on experimenting, you try this, you find that it's not working, you try this, you find that it's not working, like we generally said, then we have to sit down and why are we getting it wrong?
To solve them or even to understand them, we have to understand, or to understand what is actually happening now. We have to understand those things and come up with a clear mind of trying to resolve them. Thus, openly with one another, talk frankly, and get people on board to say, okay, how do we handle this, or how do we solve this? Until we do that, I'm afraid that we'll just be doing cosmetics.
They recommended an enhanced intelligence network, as well as proper accountability for funds allocated to security, as some of the initiatives that can turn the situation around. The security experts also stressed the need to met out stiff penalties for banditry and collaborators.
We have adequate and enough information flow. We have adequate and enough intelligence information, intelligence data to manage the situation. So those who you are bringing, if you take Mr. A out, those that you are bringing, they are still part of the system. So we have to kind of introduce the orientation strategy on how to change the psychology of and the mindset of those we have been recruiting.
The guests noted that the fight against insecurity is a collective responsibility and therefore advised more interagency collaboration among security agencies for optimum results. In Abuja, Ikemini Williams, Nta News.
Meanwhile, the Nigerian Army Department of Military Secretary is adopting technology to improve data collection and storage as catalyst in view of global advancement. Defense correspondent Ismail Musa reports that this convergence of military secretaries is aimed at ensuring efficient data management in line with the digital era, a key panacea for sustaining a professional Nigerian army with a joint environment.
Effective data management and record keeping ensures the preservation of institutional data and records of vital historical value to facilitate quick decision-making and sound administration of the Nigerian Army for years to come. The knowledge that will be shared during this seminar will therefore be instrumental in enabling us to maintain accurate records, facilitate informed decision-making, and optimize our overall effectiveness in the administration of the Nigerian Army.
By focusing on current best practices in our data management and record-keeping system, we will ensure that the Nigerian Army remains adaptive, resilient, and capable of meeting the demands of a joint environment.
The workshop will equip participants with best practices in data management and foster efficiency of the Nigerian Army. To politics, the national leadership of the People's Democratic Party says it is confident of winning the September 21, 2024 governorship election in Edo State. National Publicity Secretary of the party at a media briefing in Abuja also re-emphasized that PDP is not a merger with any other political party and that no member is above the PDP. Timothy Yusuf brings us details.
PDP national spokesperson Debo Ologunagba emphasized that the party's candidate in the September 21 governorship election in Edo State, Dr. Aswe Godalo, is acceptable across political parties and citizens of Edo State, and that from all credible indices across the 18 local government areas of the state, the PDP candidate is coasting to victory.
Aswe Godalo has an agenda tailored towards the policies and programs and missions of the PDP, and he ably christened it prosperity for all.
On the state of affairs in PDP, the national spokesperson disclosed that PDP is not in any merger or alliance with any other political party at the moment. He also reacted to some comments made by the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory and former Governor of Rivers State, Nyesom Wike, that he will put any PDP-controlled state whose governor gets involved in the conflict between him and Governor Sim Fubara on fire.
The governors' forums will speak to that. What we know is that anybody, and this is clear, that there's nobody is above this party.
He reassured that no individual is above the party and that the PDP will continue to remain on the side of the people. Timothy Yusuf, Nta News.
In other news, Nigeria's creative economy is set to reach new heights, with the Federal Ministry of Art, Culture and the Creative Economy targeting $100 billion in annual revenue and 2 million new jobs by 2030 through international and private partnerships. Gufanshaji Ugwai reports.
Nigerians' vibrant cultural heritage and creative industries are poised for a major leap forward. Driven by the Federal Ministry of Art, Culture and the Creative Economy's bold vision, the ministry's innovative 8-point plan is unlocking growth, innovation and sustainability across creative sectors, with a focus on skill development, policy reform and cultural preservation.
We've committed to creating $100 billion to increase the GDP, and also creating by 2030, and also creating at least 2 million jobs by 2027. And at the same time, call to action for partnership.
A call also for bilateral partnership with countries. It's an opportunity to really show that culture is a pillar, is pivotal for the sustainable development goals.
We're ready, we need seed capital to build. But you bring your seed capital, we will reach that $100 billion and much more.
What we can do as government is to partner with the private sector, giving it an enabling environment, how we can further have success in this amazing field.
The ministry and its partners are committed to creating a thriving creative ecosystem that showcases Nigeria's unique talent to the world and drives sustainable economic growth. In Abuja, Gufanshaji Ugwai, Nta News.
Now, the federal government has reiterated commitment to the Sustainable Procurement, Environmental and Social Standards Enhancement (SPEACE) project, an initiative aimed at expanding the skilled workforce and driving socio-economic development across Nigeria. This was the assurance given by Permanent Secretary, Federal Ministry of Women Affairs, Ambassador Gabriel Aduda, when he received the World Bank SPEACE Task Team led by Mr. Ishtiaq Siddiq. Ambassador Aduda highlighted the establishment of a technical working group within the ministry composed of experts from various professional fields under the social standard node to ensure the successful execution of the projects and its objectives. As the lead agency for implementing the social standards aspects of the SPEACE project, the Ministry of Women Affairs is working to expedite the launch of a certification portal which will be instrumental in reducing corruption, creating new job opportunities for the youths, as well as maintaining social standards in Nigeria in line with international best practices. You're watching the News Desk at 3 on Nta News 24. Let's take a breather. The news continues shortly.
From the creeks of the Niger Delta to the breathtaking scenery of the plateau, in noonday and nighttime, we set out to bring to you captivating stories that evoke your emotions. For fascinating documentaries and reports on day-to-day issues with expert analysis, tune in to NTA News 24, DSTV Channel 419, GoTV Channel 26, StarTimes Channel 101 and 433, and Free TV Channel 703.
This is the News Desk at 3 on Nta News 24. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's renewed hope agenda to address food insecurity is progressing in Yagba West, Kogi State. The Omikampe Dam in Yagba West local government area is being revitalized to support the cultivation of 500 hectares of land. The potential for power generation from the dam is also being explored. Jonathan Omajali reports on this development.
The vast stretch of fertile land in the Omikampe area of Yagba West local government in Kogi State is one of Nigeria's underutilized natural assets. Surrounded by lush vegetation and hills, the Omikampe Dam provides water to largely untapped farmlands. It is managed by the federal government under the Lower Niger Basin Development Authority and was primarily constructed for irrigation purpose. However, despite the dam's 18 kilometers of irrigation canals, the land remains significantly underutilized.
We are targeting minimum of 500 hectares of land to be cultivated. So in this situation here, they have, is it 3,500 hectares of land to be cultivated? And for now, I think they are cultivating below 1,000.
If there is enough water, at least for rice production, I can farm 3-4 times per annum.
As both state and federal governments prioritize agriculture in the fight against food insecurity, the dam and its surrounding arable lands are drawing renewed interest. The Kogi state government, in partnership with the World Bank, plans to harness both the agricultural and power generation potentials of the area through a program called SPIN, Sustainable Power and Irrigation for Nigeria. A team from the State Ministry of Water Resources, along with a delegation from the World Bank, visited the site to conduct an inspection and gather baseline data.
Second component of the project is the power generation, which is to a large extent what we see here. I think according to their selection criteria from the World Bank, it will also satisfy that.
The project is scheduled to commence in the first quarter of next year. Jonathan Omajali, Nta News.
Now, the 15th General Assembly of the African Union of Broadcasters is open in Gaborone, Botswana, with delegates from Africa's 54 countries attending, with the theme, The Future of African Media Facing the Challenges of New Technologies and Climate Change. The four-day event was declared open by Botswana's acting president at a brief ceremony that also had ministers and top Botswana government officials. Discussions around the theme will feature 6 panels made up of top broadcast officials, practitioners, academia, and experts in different aspects of broadcasting. During the General Assembly, new officials to occupy the 15-member Executive Council are also to be elected to run its affairs for the next 2 years. Meanwhile, the AUB Council unanimously adopted the creation of the African Artificial Intelligence Observatory, an ambitious initiative aimed at supporting the continent's media in their digital transformation. The Council, in its meeting held in Gaborone, emphasized the importance of this initiative as a step towards implementing the recommendations of the AUB Summit on Artificial Intelligence and Media held in March 2024 in partnership with UNESCO in Cameroon. To other news, less than 70 days to another national conversation, One Umma is unveiling plans for the 2024 Peace and Unity Conference, focusing on resilience, recovery, and the role of faith in handling crisis in today's modern world. Tope Alabi reports that organizers are the unveiling in Abuja are strategizing towards a brief and befitting program geared towards correcting some misconceptions surrounding Islamic teachings while fostering peaceful coexistence and religious tolerance among Nigerians.
إن هذه أمتكم أمة واحدة.
One Ummah is a coalition of Muslim organizations including Light of the Ummah Foundation, Muslim Global Foundation, Women in Da'wah, and iMedia Foundation. It is a platform for impactful knowledge sharing, learning, and dissemination of Islamic values and teachings. And the annual Peace and Unity Convention is to provide practical faith-based strategies to empower Muslims in their personal, professional, and community lives to ensure participants are engaged in in-depth knowledge from experts and prominent scholars on how to navigate crisis with resilience and purpose, including workshop for adolescents.
To see how to really promote goodness and promote what faith really teaches, where people live in peace and harmony, and promote the progress that we need to see as a nation.
This year, the theme centers on resilience recovery, the role of faith in handling crisis in today's modern world, with particular attention on mental health, business, career, and overall general issues as part of conversations by Islamic scholars and experts for participants to gain life-changing knowledge. From Saturday 16th to Sunday 17th of November 2024 in Abuja and Lagos, the conference intends to equip participants with strategies to integrate faith and conviction into their business and career development, helping them to navigate crises with resilience and purpose while fostering entrepreneurship and financial literacy that aligns with Islamic principles.
Every part of the country must be doing their own part to the progress of the country. So we believe at One Ummah that we have a responsibility to inspire the youth to find the right track and for them to find their calling and what they're here to do. So this initiative is very amazing. One Ummah has done a fantastic job in doing this. And
we bring in people, talk about contemporary issues, issues that affect the Ummah in the world today. It's a place where you can come together, learn knowledge,
From subtopics like beyond profit, disrupt or be disrupted, women in business, career development, navigating professional growth as a Muslim, the future of work, as well as faith-based mental health strategies. Organizers are hopeful of creating and promoting emotional well-being and spiritual growth of participants. In Abuja, Tokpe Alabi, Nta News.
This is the news desk at 3 on Nta News 24. Here is a recap of some of our top stories. President Tinubu commences state visit to People's Republic of China, signs Memorandum of Understanding with President Xi Jinping. Minister of Petroleum Resources Oil refutes claim of increase in petroleum pump price. Security experts call for actionable intelligence to end banditry in the northwest region of Nigeria.
We have to understand those things and come up with a clear mind of trying to resolve them.
This is NTA News 24.
President Bola Tinubu commiserates with the Yardua family over the passing of Hajia Dada Yardua. Hajia Dada, mother of the late former President Umar Musa Yardua and the late General Shehu Musa Yardua, passed away on Monday at a venerable age. President Tinubu also extends his condolences to Senator Abdulaziz Musa Yardua, the people of Katsina State, and to the many lives the late matriarch touched. The president mourns Hajia Dada, yet extols her legacy of compassion, faith, honesty, and good fellowship. President Tinubu prays for the repose of the soul of the deceased and affirms that the beloved and remarkable matriarch of the Yardua family will always be remembered for the support, peace, joy, and comfort she offered to many. Next, some sporting stories from our sports desk.
Nigeria Super Eagles players have started arriving camp in Uyo Monday ahead of the nation's 2025 Africa Cup of Nations qualifying matches. Leicester City midfielder Wolford Ndidi and goalkeeper Amazo Basoge bridged into Uyo camp, and those arrival increased the number of players in camp on Monday to 9. Nigeria is set to play Benin Republic on Saturday, September 7, 2024, in their first Group D match, scheduled for 5 p.m. at the Godswill Akpabio Stadium, followed by a match against Rwanda 3 days later in Kigali. Last Tuesday, the Nigeria Football Federation announced a 23-man squad for these two matches, the 2025 AFCON qualification matches, organized by the Confederation of African Football, will determine the participating teams for the tournament in Morocco, the 35th edition of Africa's International Men's Football Championship. A total of 24 teams will qualify for the final tournament, including the automatically qualified host, Morocco. And in tennis, Jack Draper produced a brilliant display to reach the US Open quarter-finals with a straight-set win over Thomas McHugh. Jack stormed to a 6-3, 6-1, 6-2 victory in just an hour and 44 minutes as he booked his place in the last 8 of the Grand Slam for the fourth time.
Game, cinema,
stylish backhand gets it done. Jack Draper.
6-3, 6-1, 6-2.
The Brits into the quarterfinals.
Coco Gauff's US Open title defense is over after she was beaten by Emma Navarro in the fourth round in New York. Third seed Gauff produced a disjointed performance to lose 6-3, 4-6, 6-3 to fellow American and 13th seed Navarro. Navarro's victory ends Gauff's bid to become the first woman to defend the US Open title since Serena Williams in 2014.
And that's the news. Thank you so much for your time.